is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Last night, the Buffalo. Wilson Ramos powered the Rays offense. And the bullpen was locked down as Tampa Bay topped Baltimore. Tonight, a pair of former teammates square off as Jeremy Hellickson goes to the hill for the O's and Jake Odorizzi toes the rubber for the Rays. Tonight we welcome you to Baltimore, Maryland. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Just 2 blocks from the birthplace of George Herman Ruth, and that's the scene beyond center field. Jim Palmer immortalized in bronze. Tonight, Game 3 of this series between the Rays and the Orioles. Hi again, everyone, and we welcome you to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Alex Cordery will join us throughout the evening as well. Rays hoping to finish their road series here against the Baltimore Ball Club with a series victory. They're going to need a win tonight. They're even at a game apiece, counting on the big bat of their big catcher.
You know, tonight, let's talk about the battery. Let's talk about the battery, Jake Odorizzi and Wilson Ramos. Let's start with Wilson Ramos and what he has done at the plate. If you go back over his last 9 games, how about this? A .452 average, and that comes on the strength and on the back of 4 3-hit games, including the last 2, showing his power. His hands have been very quiet. Therefore, he has been very quiet at the plate, allowing that ball to get into the zone, see it a little bit longer, and then fire those hands and show his strength. That could have been home run number 5 in the last 9 games. Went for a double, but regardless, he's swinging the bat well. And Jake Odorizzi, how about this? 2 of his last 3 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings and given up just 1 hit. But let's focus his last time out against the Boston Red Sox. He went 6 strong, just gave up that 1 hit, and I thought that his fastball command around the strike zone, especially elevated out over the plate, was special, and it's going to have to be there again tonight because this Baltimore Oriole team, we know that they love the long ball.
And an interesting pitching matchup, the former Ray, Jeremy Hellickson against Jake Odorizzi in this park, favoring hitters, 2 fly ball pitchers out there squaring off in the 3rd game of this 4-game series. Back with the first pitch in a moment. welcome you back on a beautiful evening here in Baltimore. Ray's first stop on this two-city trip, wrapping up the road portion of their schedule this year. They've divided the first two games, dropped the first game here 3-1, coming away with a victory last night 8-3. Here is tonight's starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealer. Rays will have Kevin Kiermaier in the leadoff spot. He's in center, followed by Lucas Duda, who plays first base. Evan Longoria at third, hitting third in front of the DH Logan Morrison. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Corey Dickerson is in left. Wilson Ramos hits seventh. He'll do the catching. Brad Miller will hit eighth and play second base. And Danny Echeverria at shortstop, batting ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be right-hander Jeremy Hellickson, former Ray. And you see his season with Philadelphia and now obviously with Baltimore. He's making his 30th start, the record 8-10 ERA, 5.47. Been a bumpy ride for Jeremy since coming over here to the Orioles. But he's very familiar with this Rays organization, as they are with him. This should be an interesting watch. Let's take a look at the Oriole defense and see how it's going to line up. Behind him here tonight, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source, and in the outfield left to right, we have Trey Mancini, Adam Jones, and Austin Hayes. Across the infield third to first, Manny Machado, Tim Beckham, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis. Wellington Castillo will be behind the plate.
So here we go tonight. The Rays facing the former Ray, 30-year-old right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. Stepping in is Kevin Kiermaier. Not a lot of prior at-bats for this Rays lineup against Hellickson. Kiermaier settling in for the first time against him, and the pitch is too low. So this one underway. 87 degrees here in Baltimore. He checks. Did he? No, he did not on the appeal. Terry Cooper down there at third, and he says he went around. So it's 1-1.
Let's take a look here from the side, and he absolutely went a little bit too far. That foot may have come a little too far out of the batter's box.
Down and away. 2-1. Be interesting to watch Hellickson, of course, from his time in a Rays uniform. The changeup, a very big pitch for him. The liner into right, charged by Hayes, and he gets there to make the catch.
Yeah, you think about Jeremy Hellickson, and the fastball command and placement is going to be paramount. And then the changeup comes into play. He's using a little bit of a cutter now. Problem with that pitch, he's not been able to keep it in the zone for strikes often enough to be able to get swings from opposing hitters. And of course the curveball.
Yeah, and when he was with the Rays, that curveball was a little more of a prominent pitch than some might remember. That changeup, such a big pitch, but he had a great spin rate on that curveball in a Rays uniform. Here's Lucas Duda.
Look at you with the spin rate in the first.
This pitch down and in. Duda is 7 of 14 against Hellickson from his time in the National League. Jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery. There's the breakout. 4 doubles and 2 home runs among the 7 hits off Hellickson. One. Fastball in there. Well, that one at 92.
You know, Lucas Duda is one of those guys that likes that ball, you know, stands up on top of the plate, but you can crowd him. We see a lot of pitchers inside. They're going to go in there once again.
They pick up the strike down there at the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, Lucas is betting on the fact that you're not going to be able to get in there consistently. And if you leave something out over the plate, especially if it's down, the way that he's able to drop his hands, create leverage. He's tall, he's lanky, he's strong. And that's where he gets his power supply from.
One-two pitch. And that is strike 3 call right down there at the bottom of the zone.
You know, so often when you think about a guy putting away a hitter with the changeups, it's one of those changeups that has that split action, that big finish. Jeremy Hellickson more like a Bugs Bunny changeup. A little bit of fade, a little bit of finish, but more than anything else, it's just one of those changeups that appears to never get to home plate.
So 2 outs, 2 up, 2 down. Here's Evan Longoria. Chops one foul. Strike 1. Longoria hit his 19th home run of the year last night. That came his second time up to lead off the third when the Rays went on to score 4. Rays grabbed the lead and won 8-3. Fly ball into left. Mancini to his right to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays. Bottom of the first coming, no score. We'll take a look at the Orioles starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. The former Ray Tim Beckham leads it off, followed by Manny Machado and Jonathan Scope. Adam Jones in center. At first base hitting fifth, Chris Davis. Trey Mancini in left. Mark Trumbo will be the DH tonight. Wellington Castillo behind the plate, and Austin Hayes, the impressive looking rookie, is in right field hitting ninth.
Well, Jake Odorizzi coming off that start against the Boston Red Sox, and we talked a little bit about it in the open. He went 6 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 2 earned runs. Really, it was a 2-hitter stretch. A 4-pitch walk to Brock Holt. Jackie Bradley Jr. then hit a 2-run homer off him. Outside of that, there were very few mistakes made by Jake. He was very sharp and looks to continue that here tonight.
Well, here's Tim Beckham starting at shortstop again tonight for Baltimore. In the leadoff spot, he lifts a popper foul that will carry out of play. Strike 1.
Yeah, I thought what really drove the bus for Jake was the command of the fastball. You know, he's one of those guys that likes to threaten all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. I thought he was good in and out. I thought he was very good up at the top of the strike zone, and that's a big pitch for him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Beckham did not play in the first game. Was 2 for 5 last night. And behind in the count, 1-2. a cut and a miss. Beckham strikes out to begin the Baltimore half of the first.
Boy, good changeup there by Jake. Throws that ball right out over the plate. A little bit of finish at the end. It was the change of speed that got Beckham leaning way out in front. Great start.
This is Manny Machado. 33 home runs on the year for Machado. In his career against Odorizzi, 11 of 38 with 4 home runs. Takes the pitch upstairs. Machado homered in his first at bat of this series. That came Thursday. A 2-run home run. The Orioles won 3-1. That's foul right back. I think the Orioles scored all 3 of their runs in the first inning in Thursday's game. They scored 3, won 3-1, scored 3 last night, lost 8-3. Play 1 and 2.
Now the Rays have held the opposition to 3 runs or fewer in their last 6 ball games. And that, you're able to do that consistently. You put yourself in a great position to win if you get any kind of offense.
It's a ball, 2-strike count on Machado. Yeah, that streak right there ties the longest streak of the season for the Rays doing that. Pitch inside, 2-2.
Just too often for the Rays, especially here in the second half in the last couple of months, there just hasn't been enough offense. Have struggled in a lot of areas.
It's well out of play, and the count's still 2-2.
That's where, as a pitcher, you've got to divorce yourself from that. You have no bearing, especially in the National League. You're not hitting. You have the DH. There's nothing that you can do about the offense. To even think about your team's scoring or lack of scoring is counterproductive to what you need to accomplish.
Back into the screen, foul, still 2-2. You're absolutely right about that. And when you look at the first half, second half, the Rays broke out in front consistently offensively in the first half. Different story the second half of the season. In fact, the Rays, when you look at the Rays and their basic wins and losses, only the White Sox and the Tigers have won fewer games in the second half in the American League than the Rays. And that's been pretty much due to an offensive blackout.
And those right now in 2017 are 2 teams you do not want to be linked with in any manner. They are right down there bringing up the bottom of the American League. 2 of the quickest teams out of the wild card race.
Fly ball left field. Here comes Dickerson. Out goes Echeverria. Echeverria makes the catch. Dickerson was playing him deep. Still coming in when Echeverria got there to grab it.
And you know what? You have to do that here. The way that the ball flies, you've got to protect over your head. Let's take a look at the rest of the Rays D. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And of course, Dickerson over to Kiermaier and Souza Jr. And then across the infield, third to first, Longoria, Echeverria, Miller, and Duda. Wilson Ramos back behind the plate.
It's been fun to watch Echeverria at shortstop every day. Now here's Jonathan Scope. Ball 1 to him. Scope, 32 home runs on the year. He's 8 for 24 in his career against Odorizzi, with 3 doubles and a home run. So half of those hits have been for extra bases. And there's a fair ball headed for the corner. He's going to have another extra base hit here. A 2-out double off Odorizzi.
Well, Scope, who has had a tremendous breakout offensive season, over 100 RBIs for the first time. A lot of home runs, and he got a mistake there and able to stay back long enough to keep it about a foot fair and give the Orioles an opportunity here with 2 outs.
It's his 34th double of the year. Pretty good year. 32 home runs, 34 doubles. Came in hitting .295. He's your second baseman.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you think about a team that's got power everywhere, they've got 7 different hitters with at least 20 homers. It's unheard of.
Adam Jones, another year with better than 20 home runs, 26 home runs. Fouls the first one out of play. Look at the breakout. 7 players with 20 or more home runs. 96 Orioles, 2000 Jays, the 05 Rangers, the Yankees in 09, Blue Jays in 10, and now the Orioles in 17. For the time being, the Orioles bookending that mark.
Yeah, how about all of those teams from 96 on, and the vast majority coming in the last few years? At least half of them.
1-1.
But that's the game, you know, and the league has already set the record for most home runs in a season. They're going to far surpass the number of strikeouts once again. You and I were talking about that before the game. The strikeout numbers across Major League Baseball are going to set a record for the 10th year in a row, and it's going to obliterate the record.
Yeah, you're right about that, and there are repercussions, I think, that will derive from that. Buck Showalter was saying, heard him say earlier tonight, he'd like to see highlights other than a home run.
Good luck.
that makes great sense, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, for the nature of the game and for the entertaining aspect of the game, you'd like to see highlights other than strikeouts and home runs. 1-2 the count. Preferably for the team you're rooting for.
Of course. But you're right. When you do watch highlights, you get either the big strikeout game from somebody, or you get a couple of home runs, and maybe they sneak in a tremendous defensive play.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And most of those are spectacular plays. I mean, Kiermaier obviously leads the league in those, and they are. I mean, we saw maybe the best catch he's ever made the other night, racing into left center field for that catch. And you want to see those. A little tap. Odorizzi will cover, and the ball's going to be loose on the toss to first. Scope will score. Jones will head all the way to third. The throw on the way, and that's going to be late. So on that tap, Jones winds up at third, and Baltimore takes the lead.
All he did was put the ball in play, force Lucas Duda to charge and make the play, field the ground ball. He's going to then try to lead Jake Odorizzi with the underhand toss. You're going to see it right here, and it's behind Jake. It goes right into Adam Jones and off his body down into right field. You talk about just offline right there. Behind him, he can't reach it, and then Adam Jones ends up kneeing it down the right field line. That leads to a run, and he's over there at third base. That's tough. Your body's moving towards the dugout on the third base side, and you're trying to flip that ball back against all of your momentum. You've got to really concentrate on getting it out in front, or what happened is to be expected.
Ball on to Chris Davis. Jones gets a base hit. There's an error charge to Duda. No RBI, and it's a 1-0 game.
You know, that's the other thing. How often do you ever work on that play? First baseman charging, fielding the ball in front of the bag, and then having to underhand toss it to a running pitcher against all of his momentum across his body. You never work on that, and so you don't know where your release point is, and obviously it wasn't far enough.
And the other thing, Duda has spent a lot of time DHing in recent days. Pitch is down. And a difficult play, one you don't make very often. It's the 8th error charge. Now it's a 3-0 count. Three and one. Scope doubled with 2 outs. He scores on that infield single and the error. Cut by Davis. The count goes full.
I would say expect it again. I would go right back to the top of the strike zone with the fastball. It's a pitch that's very difficult for Chris Davis to get to.
It's fouled away. That error on Duda, only his 2nd since he has been in a Rays uniform. But it leads to a run. And a full count on the big bat of Chris Davis. And he got him. Odorizzi strikes him out. A run, 2 hits, a man left, an error, 1-0 Baltimore.
Right-hander Jeremy Hellickson will make his start against his former team for the first time in tonight's Toyota Inside Look. You can see while pitching for the Rays from 2010 to 2014, Hellickson was the 2011 AL Rookie of the Year. Well, had a chance to speak with Rays pitching coach Jim Hickey before tonight's game. He said what he remembers about Hellickson and Dwayne and BA, like you all pointed out earlier, was his changeup. Hickey says it separated him, adding that he perfected it and used it well. We'll ask Hickey also what it's like to see the Rays face one of his former pitchers, and he said you always hope that the final score is 1-0 Rays. Dwayne?
Well, it is 1-0, but it's on the wrong side right now. So far as Jim Hickey and the Rays are concerned, Logan Morrison grounds out right into the shift with Scope taking care of that ground ball in short right field. Here's Steven Souza Jr.
Yeah, that's what, you know, when you think Jeremy Hellickson, you hear the name brought up, you think the Bugs Bunny changeup. The changeup that just never gets there. Tremendous arm speed on it, no fear of throwing it out over the plate, and it just
it just took forever. He didn't get you with the movement on it. He got you with the change of speed.
And the first pitch is a strike to Souza Jr. Yeah, that changeup, something he was exposed to at Hudson Valley when he joined the Rays organization. And he rode that all the way to the big leagues and the Rookie of the Year award in 2011. Pitch is line foul, out of play by Souza. Into the stands. Good house here tonight in Baltimore on a Saturday night. And a lovely day, beautiful evening, and a great setting here at Camden Yards. Another foul ball. And another souvenir down there somewhere.
Great crowd here tonight. Just 2 games left in the Oriole home season, and it's a packed house.
A little close to Souza Jr. How about that? The Orioles, the final week of the season, they'll be on the road. They go to Pittsburgh and then play the Rays at Tropicana Field next weekend. And the Rays wrap up their home schedule. And the Orioles have 2 off days next week, final week of the season.
I've never heard of that. I have never heard of that.
Souza caught looking.
Now, if you're thinking about an Orioles team that's qualified for the playoffs, okay, to set up your rotation, you would love it.
Yep.
But of all of the 6 months that you're playing ball when you could use an off day, 2 of them the final week of the season, very strange.
So the bases are empty for Corey Dickerson. Dickerson at .277 with 26 home runs. One and 0. Nothing.
That sometimes is where it starts to go south a little bit for Jeremy Hellickson when he tries to be too fine with the fastball, and instead of attacking the strike zone or having the confidence to attack the strike zone, he nibbles, puts himself in bad counts, and that's when the hitter has the advantage.
Fastball is foul, out of play. 2-1.
You know, when Jeremy came over to the Orioles, his first start, he went 7 shutout against the Kansas City Royals. Since then, in the 8 starts, he's given up at least 6 earned runs in half of them.
Yeah, his earned run average here in those 9 starts is .729. So 2-5. It's fouled, and it's 2-2 up to 92 with that fastball. Well, if you allow him, he can lull you to sleep out there. He's not in a hurry. He'll take his time. You're certainly not going to read his face. I mean, he's like deadpan all the time.
That's the expression he's had for the last, what, 7 years?
Yep.
That we've seen him.
And like that as a rookie.
The ultimate game face.
Yep.
Poker face. Can't tell.
And he strikes out Dickerson. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And about front. 1-0 Baltimore. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Rays in Baltimore tonight, again tomorrow afternoon to wrap up this series. And it'll be on to New York to meet the Yankees and then home against the Orioles. Jake Odorizzi, touch for the run in the first inning, faces Trey Mancini in the first pitch inside, 1-0. Mancini with a 12-game hitting streak. Cut and a miss. Odorizzi tried that breaking ball with him on the first pitch and could not get it to bite.
Well, then he goes right to that cutter, and that's been a pitch that's been big for him recently. You know, that's one of those pitches that he's used it for a time and then gotten hurt on it a couple of times. Then it goes away for a while. He'll go with the slider, then get rid of the slider, go back to the cutter.
2. Yeah, that cutter in recent times has stepped up as his #1 secondary pitch.
Yeah, and you know what? It really started 2 starts ago, and that was against the Twins when he went 6 2/3, and the only hit he gave up was that Joe Mauer ground ball off of second base.
And the breaking ball, this time it bites, and Mancini does as well and misses. Strikeout number 3 for Jake Odorizzi.
Boy, what a plus when you can locate the curveball. One thing to get it to break and spin tight. Another thing to be able to move it onto the edge of the plate and command that pitch. We see Alex Cobb do it all the time. Right there, Jake Odorizzi did. Picked up a strikeout.
Here's the Baltimore DH, Mark Trumbo. 1-0. Trumbo with 23 home runs.
But it looks like that cutter is going to be a big pitch for him tonight here. A team that has a lot of power, a lot of right-handed power. And they like to commit early. So all of a sudden you see the ball come out of the hand and you're thinking fastball, you commit, and that cutting action takes it from the barrel to either just off the edge of the bat or to the end of the bat. You get poor contact.
Yeah, their team accumulating 229 home runs. They like to hunt the fastball. So you give them something that sort of looks like that fastball, and then just at the end, it's too late to change your mind. 2-1, a foul ball right there. One out, bases empty. That's a strike, and it's 2-2.
You see how subtle that movement is. 87 to 88 miles an hour. That cutting action is not, it's not big. Just small little break. All it's designed to do is miss the barrel of the bat. And I'll tell you, if he keeps putting it in spots like he has here in the early going, gonna have a good night with it.
The count is full.
That's the classic case of I threw one to get to 2 strikes. That was great. I'm going to make this one better. You don't need to. You back it up with what you just threw, or you're going to have the same result. You try to make it a little bit better. You try to jump on it a little bit more, and you yank it way off the plate.
The popper foul out of play. And a cut and a miss. Fastball up. Got him. He chased it up. 3 consecutive strikeouts. 4 on the night already for Odorizzi.
You'll be able to do that. Rack up some good numbers if you're able to put the ball where you want it. This one, he wants it away, but Mark Trumbo just cannot help himself. That ball is up there. Look how high that is. Up right across the letters, the shoulder area. Well, you know a hitter will go up that high. That gives you so much room to work.
2 outs. Wellington Castillo down to third. He goes with that first pitch. Longoria throws him out. 1, 2, 3. Go the Orioles. We go to the third. 1-0 Baltimore. Rays down to Baltimore. Join the Rays in supporting those affected by Hurricane Irma. With the entire Bay Area taking a hit, it takes the whole community to join together and rebuild. Donate at ucaring.com/Rays Irma Relief. Wilson Ramos, who's been red hot with that bat, will open the third for the Rays. Came close to a 2-home run night last night. Had to settle for a home run, single, and a double. That double at first called a home run, but upon the challenge, it was overturned. He got the double for that. So 10 home runs on the year for Ramos. Hellickson has retired 6 in a row to start this game. Misses with a high fastball. Ramos belting a grand slam his first time up last night.
Boy, just so locked in at the plate right now. He's seeing the ball well. He's allowing that ball to travel. You know, you watch his hands. Just watch how balanced he is at the plate. I mean, even the way that he took that curveball. You know, clearly the pitch fooled him. Good curveball by Jeremy Hellickson, but you didn't see him get out off balance. You didn't see him leaning. Everything is in sync.
11 RBIs in his last 9 games. Pushing 500 during that stretch. Right back into the screen. 1-2. So calm up there.
Yeah, just no wasted movement at all. And it is being reflected right now in the numbers. He made that adjustment about a month and a half ago where he lowered his hands a little bit. Went back and looked at some highlight video from early 2016. Made a corresponding adjustment and has been very, very good since then. Just his takes, and that doesn't mean he's going to get a hit every time up. He's not going to strike out. That's the other thing, though. In those 9 games, he's struck out just twice. So he's been putting the ball in play. Just a lot of confidence up there in his swing mechanics.
Two. Little nubber by the mound, a roller scope with a lot of time. That's the first out in the third.
It's so hard to sit back on that changeup, especially when you haven't seen it. A lot of these hitters have not, or at least not that much.
Yeah, a lot of these hitters who played behind Hellickson saw it that way, but have never seen it at the plate.
Yep. Big difference.
Longoria, for an example, that at bat he had when he lined to left, first time he'd hit against him. Now Brad Miller. He's fouling the first one out of play. Now, the one thing you can say about Hellickson, when he joined the Rays organization, he would listen, and did when he developed that changeup in the minor leagues. Ground ball short. Beckham. And they get Miller, who made that a close play at first. He was hustling his way down, and Beckham took his time.
Yeah, I mean, took way too much time there, and Brad Miller, who was hustling, almost beat that out for an infield hit on what should have been very routine. He reads Rob Manfred's name, looks up, throws, and it should never have been that close, but you'll take it.
Yeah, you expect that to be routine and a lot more time to spare than that.
Yeah. And it's not like Brad Miller, who he's not a poor runner, but he's also not a burner.
Yep. There's Danny Echeverria, 8 up, 8 down here against Hellickson. Ball, no strikes. 52 on the year. Overall, 7 homers and 27 runs batted in. 6 of those home runs in a Rays uniform. And right back through the middle, base hit. Hellickson just got his foot out of the way in time, and the Rays have their first hit and their first base runner.
Boy, right back up the box by Echeverria. That ball well struck, and watch how close it comes to getting him. I mean, just got that foot out of the way. That's one of those line drives that catches you on the front of the shin. You don't walk right for a couple of weeks.
Echeverria aboard, and we go back to the top of the order. Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier lined to the right fielder Hayes to start this game. So he has his second time around against Hellickson. Ball, no strikes. Echeverria back in.
Hellickson's given up 7 stolen bases in 10 attempts. He does have 3 pickoffs.
It's popped up, will carry out of play. 1-1. The Rays start this night with 8 games left to play. 75 and 79. The Orioles are 74 and 81. Right now the Rays running 3rd in the AL East. Echeverria is running, and the pitch is lined into left center field for a base hit, picked up by Mancini, and Echeverria stops at 3rd on the base hit the other way by Kiermaier. 1st and 3rd with 2 outs.
Never giving up on an inning. It was a 2-out hit that got it started, put him in motion. A little fillet shot right there by Kiermaier. He drops it in. And now you've got first and third on the verge of tying this ball game up.
Well, Lucas Duda will be the hitter. He was caught looking his first time. 3 strikeouts for Hellickson. And came into the game 7 of 14 against Hellickson. And was charged with the error on the feed to Odorizzi, and that eventually allowed Scope to score.
What a great opportunity to make up for that.
Pitch inside. Fastball off the plate and up. Kiermaier starts and stops over at first. The pitch down and in, and Castillo making a quick adjustment to stay in front of that one.
Yeah, with that runner on third, it becomes even more important that Wellington Castillo is active back behind the plate. And Lucas Duda has gotten himself into a nice count here, 2-0, and Hellickson once again starting to nibble just a hair.
Now it's a 3-0 count. On deck is Evan Longoria. It's not uncharacteristic of Hellickson being very cautious and now falling behind. Strike, just a bit of the corner, inside edge there.
Well, this isn't that bad for Lucas Duda. It's still on your terms. It's 3-1 count. So a pitch that's tight in on you like that, and they call it a strike, so be it. He's got to do it again and again. So you still can be choosy.
Kiermaier back to first. That's foul. Look out into the dugout. Skipping around there. A couple of ricochet shots and heads down, and everybody's okay. Here, look at this.
Oh man, it skipped right off the side of the hat right there. I think that's Dylan Bundy. Look out.
3-2 to Duda. Kiermaier off with the pitch, and it's fouled. We'll see another 3-2 delivery. Two for the second time. Duda fouls it again, and the battle continues. Braves with their first scoring opportunity. Baltimore scored a run in the first. unearned run, as it turns out, but the only one in the game so far. For the third time, the 3-2 pitch about to be made. Duda fouls it again. The battle continues.
Well, Hellickson's tried a little bit of everything here. Once he's gotten to 2 strikes, we've seen the fastball, the changeup, and the curveball. All 3 pitches fouled off, and now you start to wonder what Jeremy Hellickson is thinking. How am I going to try to put him away? You do have Lucas Duda here in swing mode. And sometimes you get a hitter swinging, 3 consecutive pitches, and all of a sudden you can get him to expand.
Again, the 3-2. And a long one deep into right. That one will get out of here over the scoreboard out there in right field. And the Rays will take the lead. Well, pitch after pitch, and on the 9th pitch of the at-bat, Lucas Duda hits a 3-run home run to make it 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Those have been the shots that have killed Jeremy Hellickson with the Orioles. When you look at the number of home runs he's given up and the number of 2- and 3-run Jimmy Jacks that have gotten lifted out of here, that's the 4th one. He's given up 4 2-run homers, 4 3-run homers, and 5 solo shots. And it's these 3-run homers that, well, Baltimore fans, they know that.
Yep.
Earl Weaver.
Yep.
They're killers.
With a strike to Longoria.
Well, how about that? All with 2 outs, too.
You got the first 2 on ground balls, and then the Echeverria single has led to a 3-run home run by Duda. Now a ball to Longoria. The count is 1-1. For Duda, that's the 30th home run of the season for him. 13 in a Rays uniform. He had 17 home runs and 37 runs batted in with the Mets. And that gives the Rays 217 home runs, which is a club record. Into right field. On the run is Hayes. He's going to get there and make the catch. That ball slicing away from him, but he got a good jump. Home run by Lucas Duda on a 3-2 pitch, and the Rays lead 3-1. at bat. Finish it off with a 3-run homer in the top of the inning, and the Rays now lead 3-1 as we remind you to stay tuned in the 7th inning for the Jeep Compass game break. Rich and Orestes will have highlights from around the major leagues, all coming up during the 7th. Here's Austin Hayes to lead off the bottom of the 3rd for Baltimore. Outfielder taking the first pitch from Odorizzi for a strike. He's hitting .294 in 13 games, his first major league exposure, and it didn't take him long to get here. High popper right side. Duda's after it down that right field line with his back to the infield, and he makes the catch. Just foul and just in front of Souza Jr. That is a difficult play, and Duda a nice job going up the right field line to corral that pop foul.
He had to go a long way, and it's an over-the-shoulder catch with a lot of spin on it. You see that ball comes loose there for a second, but he's able to corral it with the bare hand and record that first out. That ball up and out. Get it back in there.
Yeah, how about that down toward the heel of that mitt?
What an odd angle, far away from his position.
And then out of the blue of the western sky comes Steven Souza Jr. streaking by.
And we've seen Souza Jr. providing a lot of interference. You remember the fly ball a few games ago where he cut right in front of Kiermaier out in center field.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Where you don't want him.
Want to know the count to Tim Beckham. 1-1 the count. Two and one. Beckham struck out his first time. Two.
It'll be interesting to see what Baltimore ends up doing with Tim Beckham. You think about J.J. Hardy at shortstop, Tim Beckham out there tonight. You know, second base, they're all set with Jonathan Scope, set at third base with Machado.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Well, he was very hot when he came over here. I mean, he was red hot. It's cooled a bit, and actually for a stretch it hit under 200 here. But boy, he came here, and really that first month was on fire.
Yeah, guns ablaze and wanting to prove something to the Rays, prove something to the Orioles. You know, a lot of times that doesn't go very well, but in the month of August for Tim Beckham, it certainly did, and you can see the numbers. They speak for themselves.
394 in August, 185 in September to this point. He draws a walk inside. So the first walk given up by Odorizzi, a 1-out base runner for Baltimore. And you don't want to start walking hitters in front of this guy, Manny Machado. You can see Odorizzi disappointed, upset with himself there, walking Beckham.
It puts you in the stretch, and like you said, in front of a lot of power up and down this lineup, but Manny Machado, one of the special ones.
Machado popped out. Echeverria took care of a popper out into left. There's a big cut to miss. Strike one.
Boy, I tell you, the cutter again, and we've seen it all of this inning. We've seen it in the previous couple. Jake Odorizzi, that pitch is a big part of the game plan here tonight, and he got Manny Machado to miss that pitch by plenty. Let's stay right with it.
One and one now. Balls and a strike.
I'm trying to be just a little bit too fine. You know, that's a pitch that you throw just like a fastball. You know it's going to move, and it's going to move ever so slightly, but you're thinking fastball outside corner, outer third, it's going to run off. Once you try to start to, you know, get out there and manipulate the movement on it, that's when you start to yank it.
And he pops him up this time. Third base side foul for Longoria.
I don't know if that pitch got in enough to break Manny Machado's bat or snap it, but either way, he finished it off. This ball runs up and in, and watch this. Saw Steven Souza Jr. do that the other day. It did not crack. Wonder how that leg's feeling.
Two gone. Machado fouls out on the fastball then. Here is Jonathan Schoop. Pitch away to him. Schoop doubled and scored in the first. It's his fourth career double. It's a home run, 5 extra base hits in his career off Odorizzi out of 9 total hits. 2-0. On deck is Adam Jones. Liner into left. One hop in front of Dickerson. Stopping at second, Beckham. And Schoop is 2 for 2 tonight against Odorizzi. So he continues to get positive results in their head-to-head matchup.
He was just quick enough. First time he stayed back on an off-speed pitch, kept it fair. And this one able to get the hands through enough to get that ball into left field because Jake was trying to crowd him, that fastball, and he just swipes that pitch out into left field. And once again, a team here in the early going giving themselves a chance with 2 outs.
2 outs, 2 men aboard. Adam Jones, the dangerous hitter at the plate. He carries with him 26 homers to the plate. And an aggressive hitter goes after that first pitch, fouls it back. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. They've been in scoring position. This has been a tough team, and Jones has led the way, 361. And Cini, Schoop, Machado, all well over 300.
Yeah, well, something's got to give here because Jake Odorizzi in these situations, runners in scoring position with 2 outs, he has been stellar across the board. So this is a really interesting matchup. And I'll tell you what, you know, foul ball there, but the previous pitch again, I think every right-handed hitter that he has faced in this lineup this inning, Hayes to Beckham to Machado to Schoop, yes, all of them first pitch cutters. And that has been the theme of the night here. You know, the Orioles hitters, if we're seeing it up here, they know that that's coming. But he has kept them in good spots. He's either missed off the plate with it, or he's gotten it to the area that will elicit a swing.
2 strikes now. And he gets him looking. Strike 3 call to get out of that spot, leaving 2 men. No runs, a hit, 2 left, and we go to the 4th with the Rays leading 3-1. Tonight's deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. The Brewers defeat the Cubs 4-3. Wade Davis was victimized by the Brewers in that one. And the Yankees clinching a postseason berth with a win over the Blue Jays. Greg Bird, a 3-run home run in that 5-1 victory for New York over the Blue Jays. Here in Baltimore, we go to the 4th, and there's a strike to Logan Morrison. Wade Davis, human after all, it turns out.
Well, he'd been perfect. Had been absolutely perfect on the season. And today got away from him. He keeps the Brewers right in the thick of that wild card race. And a few of these races going to come right down to the final week of the season, which is what MLB wants.
One the count on Morrison. Ground ball. Davis will make the play at first, unassisted. 1 away. Travis Shaw hit the walk-off 2-run blast in the 10th inning for the Brewers. Now the wild card. Arizona atop, then Colorado, and St. Louis a game and a half back with Milwaukee. And a game and a half back.
You know, and think about the Chicago Cubs. You know, the Chicago Cubs played the Cardinals. They played the Brewers. They want to clinch the division. St. Louis needs to win. Milwaukee needs to win for the wild card. Bigger picture, the division. That's going to be some fun baseball to watch here in the next 4 or 5 days.
Steven Souza Jr. shoots it foul. That's well out of play for a strike. The Cubs' magic number to clinch the Central, 5. Another foul ball, 0-2. Souza, 30 home runs on the year. 78 runs batted in. Ball, 2 strikes. Souza having this 30 home run season at 28. The Rays hoping that this truly is a breakout season for him. He's out on strikes looking for the 2nd time tonight. So a ground out and a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th against Hellickson.
Well, there's really no reason to believe that it's not. I mean, he's been, for the most part, consistent the majority of the season. You're going to always have some slides here or there, but he's been consistent for this team. His defense has improved. He's got a strong outfield arm. He's showed, obviously, the ability to hit the ball a long way and produce offensively.
There's Corey Dickerson. The pitch is a strike.
I think for a lot of these Rays hitters, you've got to figure out a way to be able to put 2 halves together. And we saw some big numbers and some big first halves of the season, and then some very small numbers the second half of the season all around. Sometimes it's fatigue, sometimes it's not making adjustments.
You know, you'd always hear it takes a certain number of at-bats. Well, Souza more at-bats this year than ever before, and if you look over the past 3 seasons and including 500+ at-bats this year, he's going to have a little over 1,300 at-bats now.
Yeah, and you saw, you know, the average has dipped, the production and the power has gone up. I still think that he's capable of more than a 236 average for sure. But it's, you know, getting to know your swing, the pitchers, a better game plan at the plate, being able to stay disciplined within that game plan. It's one thing to go up there with a game plan. Some guys throw it out the window after the first pitch.
Here's Dickerson lofting a towering fly ball deep to right center, and with room, Hayes makes the catch just to the center field side of the 373 marker. 3-1, Rays lead this one. Leading 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features and live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat. Jake Odorizzi with a 2-run lead faces Chris Davis. Davis, one of 5 strikeouts recorded by Odorizzi, and a wave and a miss at that pitch up, strike 1.
Chris Davis, high hands, likes the ball down out over the plate. The bat goes down into the strike zone and gets out about as quick as you can imagine. And he really struggles with elevated heaters.
Takes this one for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Jake was able to fall behind and come right back and overpower him with fastballs that weren't even necessarily that elevated.
A foul right back. He's 7-7 with Baltimore, 4-4 here in Baltimore. Jake 4-4 in his career against the Orioles. And he strikes him out, and again, that one right down central.
You know, that's the one you don't understand. I mean, he's just throwing fastballs right down the middle. And this is what happens when your bat is in and out of the zone so quick. There's just, I mean, it's just, I don't know what to tell you. Those are the pitches that you dream about. And he's gotten them back-to-back ABs with fastballs just about the same place.
Trey Mancini sends this one into deep center field. Kiermaier to the track, and he makes the catch. Just a little reach and a little hop there to grab that one. And Mancini is the second out.
At least Souza stayed behind him.
Yeah, he kind of peeled off a little bit.
Still too close.
Checked to see how things were with the ground crew out there.
Got crowded in that corner.
Mark Trumbo now. He struck out his first time. Pitch inside, 1-0. Rays facing Jeremy Hellickson tonight. He was, as you know, the Rookie of the Year winner in 2011. And he won it over Mark Trumbo. Trumbo broke in with the Angels, hit 29 home runs that year, hit 254, and Hellickson topped that as the Rookie of the Year winner. 2-1. Hellickson won 13 games that year. He was 13-10 with a 2.95 ERA. Takes the count to 2-2 on Trumbo. Odorizzi, after his 10th win tonight, comes in 9-8 on the year. And strike 3 called. He gets Trumbo looking down at the bottom of the zone. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 5th. 3-1 Rays. The Rays lead coming in to hit. Join the Rays for the last series of the season. The Orioles are the opposition, and it will be shirts off our backs. At each game, make a donation to the Rays Baseball Foundation. Receive a scratch-off card. You can win tickets to a 2018 home game or a jersey off a player's back and more. Every card is a winner next weekend. Wilson Ramos leading it off here for the Rays. He takes a strike. Ramos, Miller, and Echeverria. One and one. One and two. Rays with a home run tonight. Ramos hit one last night, a grand slam. And a little piece of it foul. Rays came into this game 6th in the American League in home runs, 8th in the major leagues in home runs. They opened this series last in the league in runs scored. Two and two now.
How the Rays address that in the offseason will be something to watch. Yeah, because they were so good in the first half, and I don't think that either one of us envisioned the fall off of this team offensively. In fact, I didn't even really consider that.
Yep.
And yet it was precipitous.
Well, it's going to be it will be an interesting offseason for this club, because we've seen a core of some talent here and the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But if you could get a couple men on and manufacture some runs to supplement what they have, to complement it, then things could be pretty interesting and promising, for that matter. There's a foul ball out of play.
You know, I think that having Wilson Ramos healthy for an entire season is going to help. If Kevin Kiermaier can find a way to stay on the field for 150, 155 games, that's going to help, especially if they keep him up in that leadoff role, with the fact that his power is emerging, always going to be a speed guy, a stolen base threat. That's going to help.
Yeah, that's a great combination, particularly at the top of the order. Count still 2-2 with a foul ball. And I think, you know, there are other teams in similar situations with the Rays concentrating on the home run, and that's great. I think the team that figures out how to somehow put that together in concert with manufacturing some runs, I think that's going to be a great combination for whoever does that.
Yeah, they hold up trophies at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Teams that are able to do that.
And the Rays, number one, you got to catch the ball to help your pitching, and the Rays traditionally have found arms, and they've done a great job at putting arms together in one way or another on this pitching staff in the various roles that's required. And they like what they have down below. Tap, like some of those young arms. So a look toward spring training next year will make that interesting and fun.
Yeah, you definitely, with what's coming up the pipeline, and you've got a handful of guys that even at the AAA level that are performing at a high level, that you could look to make moves with guys that are, you know, on your staff now. There's enough of a backlog and enough quality at the top end of this organization that you can try to go find other pieces.
Yeah, there's an 11 pitch at bat to draw the walk for Wilson Ramos. A couple long at bats. Duda had the 9 pitch at bat, homered in the third, and now 11 pitches resulting in the walk to Ramos to open the 5th. Brad Miller. Miller grounded to short his first time. And Hellickson gets a call right there. Strike 1. A ball, so we're even now. 1 ball, 1 strike. First pitch off the plate, a strike. That one on the corner, and that's a ball.
Everybody being lulled to sleep here with the pace of this game.
A 1-1 count. Big cut right there. Tantalizing on the pitch up, and he swings through it. 1-2 count now. Hellickson retired the first 8 he faced. The Rays got to him for 3 in the third on the Duda home run. Fly ball into right. Hayes a bit to his left and in. Miller is retired. First out in the 5th. 1 on, 1 out. Rodney Echeverria, who'll be coming up. Eldorado Furniture inviting you to settle in with us tomorrow. Rays again take on the Orioles in the wrap-up game of this series. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock with Rays Lives. Archer and Bundy, the pitching matchup. Wrap-up game of the series. Echeverria started the 3-run third with a 2-out single up the middle. It just missed clipping Hellickson's foot. A strike to start this one. Echeverria had cooled a bit at the plate, picking up that hit his first time, 2 for his last 16. He had a very nice run for about a month. Behind now 0-2.
Well, Dwayne, you mentioned it in his last at bat. 6 home runs with the Rays. He was a trade acquisition. Midway through the year, has 6 home runs with the Rays. His career high coming into the season was 5. So he's hit more, you know, with the Rays than he did in any previous season. More extra base hits per at bat.
Yeah, the extra base hits were encouraging from him with the way he can play shortstop. To get that occasional pop from him, that's a plus. And if he can do that consistently, he is very valuable.
We've also seen him be able to take balls into right field. You know, his base hit here tonight was right back up the middle. We've seen him let balls get into the zone and shoot them the other way. That's always encouraging when a hitter has the ability to do that.
2-2.
The Rays have a good hitting coach down there in Chad Mottola.
And this right here is what you're talking about.
Wow.
How about that?
Better than what I thought.
You could not distribute them any better.
No. No, I mean, it's across the board. And there's your hitting coach.
Yep.
And he works hard. All of these guys and trying to keep them all sharp.
Foul out of play.
You know, the first thing that you have to do, and I don't care if you're the infield coach, hitting coach, pitching coach, you've got to earn the trust of the players.
Yeah, you have to have buy-in.
And once you get that, and you know what you're doing, you can really start to mold guys. And I think that they have all bought into what Chad Mottola is preaching.
Ground ball. This went back to Hellickson. Out at second and out at first with Scope in the middle of that. So he went right back to the pitcher that time, up the middle again, and Hellickson turns it into a double play. It's 1-4-3. Bottom of the fifth coming, 3-1. Rays. Inning in Baltimore. Beautiful night. The Rays have a 3-1 lead. Watch the Rays Kids TV show, Rays Rookies, coming your way tomorrow at noon. For more information, go to RaysBaseball.com/RaysRookies and check your listings for more episodes on Fox Sports Sun. Go to Rizzi tonight. Through 4 innings, has made 69 pitches with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk, a run on 3 hits, that run unearned. He'll face Wellington Castillo, the catcher, to lead off. Pitch is a strike to Castillo. Good wide right there.
Well, Jake continues to attack this very aggressive Oriole lineup, and he's pitching them backwards. attacking him with, first pitch changeup, then the cutter, early curveballs. Seen it all night.
This time Castillo started, but checked in time on the pitch away. It's 2-1.
There's a lot of times where guys that are hunting fastball and that are very aggressive like this team is, pitching them backwards it's the best way to do it. Give them the off speed early, surprise them with the fastball late. So far it's working out very well for Odorizzi. He's also gotten those pitches to good spots, and when he's missed into areas that he's not going to be hurt in.
Castillo ahead 3-1, and this time challenges him. Fastball right there at 93. That's the other thing the last few times out. We've seen a little more velocity on the fastball from Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, you'll see him every once in a while. He's done it a handful of times tonight, clip 94. And so feeling spry and fresh here coming down the stretch. That's a great sign.
Fastball again right there was fouled back, so we'll see another 3-2 pitch. He's picked up his gallop a little bit on the way back to the barn here.
Yeah,
that's nice to see, that little velocity from him.
it is. It makes all those other pitches that much better. You can get another mile an hour or two on the heater, force quicker decisions.
And he just missed right there. Boy, that was, you talk about a borderline pitch, that was it.
Yeah, so far the borderline pitches down and away have not been called, and that absolutely could have gone either way. It doesn't go Jake's way this time, but another one that clipped 94. Good velo, but now back and out of the stretch, and you got to go back to making pitches. You do not want to allow this Baltimore lineup to get anything started down at the bottom before it rolls over for the third time.
Austin Hayes, the rookie outfielder, up here now. And he taps it. He can run. Going to be a tough play. Off balance throw. They got him. What a play by Odorizzi, showing some nimbleness and athleticism there to get that ball and then to make the off balance throw. I'll put a star by that one for Jake Odorizzi.
Boy, getting to it, number one. You see his ball just kind of nubbed out there, but then throwing with his momentum falling back towards third base, and he's accurate with the throw and gets enough on it. This is some serious athleticism shown by Jake.
Yeah, that's an impressive bit of defense right there by the Rays starting pitcher. Up to second goes Castillo. Here's Tim Beckham. Beckham has struck out and walked.
I think that, you know what, that play right there has the smell of bonefish.
Yes,
written
it does,
all over
doesn't it? It does indeed.
Especially coming from a pitcher.
Yep. We'll have to find a place on the infield to play him. Maybe a late inning defensive replacement somewhere.
There you go.
Want to know the count on Beckham. That's a strike. It's 1-1. Job right there. That pitch disappeared. It's 1-2. One on. Arlington Castillo at second base. A little bit of that went foul. Big 1-0 this year against Baltimore. This is third outing against them. He came into this game allowing 7 earnings in 10 1/3 innings. With a win, no losses. And so far tonight, so good. Pitching in the 5th. And he strikes out Beckham. Strikeout number 8. Second time he has retired Beckham.
The changeup's been good for Odorizzi tonight too. Watch the finish on this on the arm side. A little dart down and in. And he threw a number of them to Tim Beckham in that at-bat as well as previous ABs, and still has not been able to figure that pitch out, and throwing that with good arm speed.
It's been nice to see him with a mix of pitches depending on the start. I mean, we've seen that cutter emerge a little bit recently, and maybe not as much with that changeup, and now he's done some good changeups. High fly ball by Machado into right. Souza Jr. on the track is there to make the catch. Man left at first after the leadoff walk, and the Rays lead 3-1. Through 5, the Rays have the lead. Baltimore got the lead on this play. Scope scored from second on the infield hit by Jones and the throwing error. But the Rays got it right back when Lucas Duda in the 3rd had a 9-pitch at bat and finished it with a 3-run home run. Jake Odorizzi pretty much has taken care of the rest with 8 strikeouts to the first 5. We go to the 6th inning. Duda will hit second. It'll be the top of the order. Kiermaier, Duda, and Longoria against Jeremy Hellickson. This pitch is a strike. Kiermaier 1 for 2 with a single. It's 1-1. Hellickson at the 80 pitch mark right now. Back 2-1. This is the 10th start for Hellickson in a Baltimore uniform. 2-5 with the Orioles. Liner into right field. That will drop. A base hit on one hop in front of Hayes. So Kiermaier 2 for 3 tonight.
First baseman, number 21.
leadoff man aboard, and you know, Kiermaier with that speed. And a changeup that stayed up. And Austin Hayes trying to make that decision. Look how he sweeps that bat, a little whirly bird at the end. Hit that ball hard out into right field, and now you start to put the pressure squarely on Hellicksen's back because of the speed at first and the guy that hurt you at the plate.
Duda takes a good look at that one wide. Duda 8 of 16 in his career with 3 home runs against Hellicksen. Lyer up in the bullpen. We saw him briefly last night. Two and 0.
That pitch, you look at that pitch on Fox Tracks, and that's a strike, but it was caught so poorly by Wellington Castillo that you're never going to get that call. Kind of a backhand. He didn't allow Gabe Morales to even take a look at it.
Two-0 pitch into center field this time. Jones angling to his right and back, makes the catch. Kiermaier retreats to first.
You only point that out because it's so strange to see that nowadays. There's such an emphasis put on pitch framing and the way that these catchers work, and we see it, you know, a lot of times in early work as we're getting to the ballpark out there working on framing different types of pitches, soft pitches, elevated fastballs, in out, pitches that are low in the zone. Wellington Castillo's done a tremendous job here for the Orioles, behind the plate and swinging the bat for that matter.
He's having Longoria. This pitch to him is too close. Another take in off the plate. 2-0. It's Morrison on deck. Kiermaier back in there at first base. Kevin with 14 steals in 20 attempts this year. Opposition 7 of 10 against Hellicksen in the steal department. There goes Kiermaier. Swing and a miss. Throw down. One hops in, and Kiermaier is out at second base. Scope took the throw and put the tag on him.
Where do you see the throw, Dwayne, by Wellington Castillo? He comes out of his crouch so quickly, almost throws his ball over top of Evan Longoria, who had swung and missed at the pitch up and in. One hops it right there to Scope. How about that? That's as quick of a trigger that we've seen here recently. And plenty of time to get the speedy Kiermaier. That tag right to the left hand. You better get that tag where it's supposed to go. The camera's watching.
Now 2-1 on Longoria as the Rays lose the base runner. Evan patiently takes that one for a ball. It's 3-1. Well, that's 20 out of 45 caught stealing for Castillo. It's up close to 45%.
Yeah, take that.
Ground ball third. Machado plays it to his left and makes the throw. No runs ahead, a caught stealing, nobody left. 3-1 Rays. Tonight's Geico Great Moment. On this date in 2000, Fred McGriff joining Frank Robinson as the second player ever to collect 200 homers in both the American and National Leagues. When he goes deep against right-hander Roy Halladay, that came in the first inning of the game against Toronto. Good company if you're in the company of Frank Robinson as a hitter. Robinson with Cincinnati and then here with the Orioles. Jonathan Scope will lead off the bottom of the sixth. Scope 2 for 2. Aggressively out after that pitch. Strike one. There's a strike on the outside corner, a fastball, and quickly Odorizzi jumps to an 0-2 advantage. It's down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The dirt, 2-2. Romo the right-hander and Jennings the lefty up in the Rays bullpen as we enter the sixth. In on him and he fouls it. Jake getting close to 90 pitches. He threw 96 in 6 innings against Boston his last time in a 3-2 win. Gave up 1 hit and 2 runs. And he strikes out Scope. Boy, that's a big strikeout to get to open the inning. His 9th strikeout of the night. And he gets it in front of facing Adam Jones.
And another cutter. Right there, a little bit of cutting action, and Jonathan Scope gets very long and loopy with the swing. See it dip right underneath it, and Jake continues to come right after this lineup. A ton of cutters. Started him off with one for strike one, finished off with one. That has been the game plan, and so far he has executed it almost flawlessly.
Adam Jones. He takes the ball. Jones had the infield hit in the first. 1 for 2 tonight. Ground ball, third base. Longoria takes care of that. So 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. Couple of quick outs now. There's Davis on his way to the plate.
Well, that first inning, the air cost him some of those pitches at 27, but other than that, can't do much better. Especially when you consider the number of strikeouts.
Yeah, 9 strikeouts tonight. And the first pitch comes in a little bit high, and Davis lays off. The line on Odorizzi so far tonight. There's a strike with a curveball. It's 1-1. Now, Jake had 8 strikeouts against the Angels in an outing at the end of May. Struck out 8 and walked 3 in that one. Had 8 strikeouts against the White Sox. And he has 9 tonight. Cishek now up in the bullpen. Ground ball, left side. That's Echeverria, and the throw to first in time to take care of Davis. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 7th. 3-1 Rays.
The Rays lead the Orioles 3-1 here in Baltimore. Jeremy Hellickson's night is over, and really overall threw the ball very, very well. He gets some strikeouts there. Lucas Duda with the changeup. His next at bat would become interesting. Another changeup there in on Corey Dickerson. This was the one mistake. A 9-pitch at bat after 2 outs, nobody on. He gives up a couple of base hits, and then all of a sudden the 3-run homer. And right now that's the difference in the game. That shot by Duda. He goes out 6 innings, 3 runs, and is going to turn it over now to the left-hander Richard Blyer for the 54th time he is in the ball game here for the Orioles this season.
Wire on for 2/3 of an inning last night. Logan Morrison will lead off this inning. Morrison 0 for 2. Ground ball to second and a ground ball to first. First pitch low and outside. Souza Jr. next, and then Dickerson. One ball, one strike. Chopper foul. So Hellickson gave up those 3 runs, as you mentioned, in the 3rd, coming on the Duda home run. 90 pitches, 58 strikes. Two. Again, a foul ball off the bat of Morrison. Final game of the series tomorrow afternoon. It will be Archer and Bundy. And for the Rays, it's on to New York to play the Yankees beginning Tuesday. A 3-game series up there. Baltimore will pick up play against the Pirates Tuesday following tomorrow's game. Up the left side, that will be foul. The Rays scored their 3 in the 3rd. That all came with 2 outs. The only other time they've had a base runner was the leadoff single by Kiermaier in the 6th. They got a base runner on a walk to Ramos, but he was erased on a double play. And Kiermaier was caught stealing. And that's strike 3 on Morrison. He goes down swinging against the left-hander. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. 3-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Archer on the hill for the Rays. We'll hear from him, and Orestes will break down Jonathan Schoop, who's had such a great year on both sides of the baseball for Baltimore at second base. Big power numbers for a second baseman. Very productive for Schoop. Steven Souza Jr. faces the lefty, and he takes ball 1. Souza finished last year with 17 home runs, 30 this year. C-Shack up working in the bullpen for the Rays. Rizzi has worked the front 6. And this one hits Souza Jr. He'll head for first, hit by a pitch. He'll put a man aboard with the left-handed bat of Corey Dickerson approaching the plate.
Boy, that ball just got yanked in, lower leg. Got Souza Jr. pretty solidly. Let's take a look on the back leg. So much for the padding.
Well, Dickerson was 0 for 2 against the right-hander Hellickson, and now he faces the left-hander Blyer. Ground ball third. That'll be scooped, and now it gets away from Machado. Down to second goes Souza Jr. And the Rays get a break there. Machado appeared to be all set to scoop that one, and it just got away from him.
Yeah, that looked like it had double play written all over it because it got to him so quickly. And here he is. He just pulled up a little bit too soon, and that ball went right off the end of the glove. I think he was anticipating getting rid of that ball as quickly as possible. A little bit too quick with pulling up with the glove.
So the hit batter and an error, and the Rays have a couple of men on here. McDowell out there to the hill. th error charged to Machado this year. Wilson Ramos will be the hitter. The right-hander really is a right-hander up in the bullpen. Mike Wright. So Ramos will face Blyer. Pitch inside. Well, Ramos has been red hot with the bat. 0 for 1 tonight. He drew an extended at bat and walked in the 5th inning. Capper, that'll be foul. 1-1. Rays have Brad Miller, his left-handed bat, on deck. Meyer came on last night to face Kiermaier and Duda. Working here in the 7th tonight with a couple men on and 1 out. Ramos, a little chopper that's going to get through the right side. Souza Jr. heads to the plate, and he beats the throw loose. Blyer will run it down, and on that loose ball, Dickerson goes to third, and Ramos winds up at second. So a run batted in for Ramos, and the Rays make it 4-1.
You know, boy, a couple things here, Dwayne. Number one, Wilson Ramos continuing his hot hitting using the right side of the field. But Blyer, where was he lined up? You know, this throw's coming from right field, and he was not in the right spot. If he was, there's no move up by the Rays. Look where he gets caught, as if the throw's coming from left field. Now you got to circle all the way around, and by the time you do that, Blyer just put himself in the wrong position. Nice idea to back the play up like you're supposed to, but make sure you know what field that ball is coming from.
Brad Miller up here 1-0.
Don't make it hurt. Cash these extra runs in.
Well, the Rays should have a couple shots. And Miller taps it foul. 1-1. Well, the RBI for Ramos, that scored Souza. And then Dickerson was going to stop at second, and likewise Ramos at first. But when the throw skipped away and had to be tracked down by Blyer, an error charged to Hayes in right field. And for the reason you pointed out, kind of a tough error on Hayes.
It is, because if Blyer's in the right spot, that ball almost bounces right to him, and nobody's moving up. You got runners at first and second. The double play still in order, but he was where he was supposed to be if the throw was coming from left field. Wrong side. And now that forces infield up. Second and third, just one out. Much tougher spot to be in.
High fly ball back into center. Dickerson will tag at third. Jones with the catch. And the Rays will get another run. Their fifth run. That makes it 5-1. A sacrifice fly for Miller. So the Rays do make that mistake hurt. Miller's 34th run batted in. Adeiny Echeverria. 2 gone now with Ramos at second. This one shot into right field. Hayes going back. That ball is caught by Hayes as he got into the wall. Boy, what a catch by Austin Hayes in right field, racing to the track, to the wall, leaping into the wall, and he makes the catch. That will end the top of the 7th. Here's another look by the young outfielder. Great grab. And the Rays will settle for 2. The Rays now have a 5-1 lead, and we'll head out to Rich Hollenberg and Arustis Estrada in the studio for the Jeep Compass game break. Camden Yards here at Oriole Park, where the Rays have now built a 5-1 lead. Jake Odorizzi leaves after 6, and a very good night for the Rays right-hander.
Well, listen, 3 of his last 4 have been stellar. And once again, he gets deeper into the game as he goes 6 innings, gives up just 3 hits, 1 unearned run. And I thought he was very good with attacking this lineup. A lot of off-speed early, if you consider a cutter off-speed. Some curveballs, the split changeup was used strategically here tonight. And overall, just really a masterful performance against a lineup that can hurt you with the long ball. He stayed out of bad areas and put up a great night.
Now we'll see Andrew Kittredge making his 13th appearance, 0-1 on the year. Good ERA, and the first pitch he makes is to Trey Mancini. 1 ball, no strikes. A lot of sliders from Kittredge.
Listen, are we sure this is Kittredge? Because this is the 3rd straight outing.
Ground ball, shortstop, and it gets away from Echeverria as he tried to retreat, moving to his left. And Mancini is aboard. That was not a routine play, and Mancini's going to get a base hit out of that and extend his hitting streak to 13.
A little home field right there. That's a play that Echeverria is going to make just about every time. That ball rattled around and he kicked away. Leadoff man aboard. I was going to say was Kittredge. This is his 3rd straight outing with a completely different look. Facial hair. He had full beard, took that down to a mustache last outing, and now he's down to clean shaven. 3 different dudes.
Well, he's trying to make the way in.
What? Yeah. What's the weekend?
Little by little.
I guess
trying to go down a level
in stages.
Yeah.
Take off the beard. Up, still didn't make it. Had a bushy mustache.
Yeah.
Chopped that off.
Trumbo sending it into right field. That'll be caught by Steven Souza Jr. And that's the first out. Trumbo 0 for 3. The catcher Wellington Castillo heads to the plate.
I think Jake Odorizzi tonight, Dwayne, really highlighted a lineup that is so over-reliant upon the home run, and that is so all or nothing, that if you're able to command and make your pitches, you make them impotent, completely impotent. I mean, he just stayed out of the bad areas for each individual hitter, and there was no way they were going to piece anything together off him. Made no adjustments.
Well, he pretty much had his way with them. 9 strikeouts. His career high is 11. So he had 9 tonight. Walked 2, gave up 3 hits and 1 unearned run. On a pitch on a night in which he made 95 pitches. 0-1 now to Castillo. And this pitch misses. 1-1.
It's one of those games where every hitter had 1 swing, and if you didn't throw the ball into the swing, you weren't going to get hurt.
And he didn't get hurt.
No, but that's the way the game has moved. You throw it into the swing, you're going to get all those home runs. If you don't, you're going to set another record for punch-outs. Well, I'm with Buck Showalter. I'd like to see a different highlight besides a home run or a strikeout.
Tapper foul.
Boy, it'll be interesting to see what the Orioles do in the offseason. They've got a lot of decisions to make too. How much longer can the core of this team stay together?
Yeah, it seems they've been together for a long, long time. Now this pitch bounces in and skips away from Ramos. Moving up to second is Mancini, and Ramos trying to shake that off. Wild pitch moves Mancini into scoring position.
No protection on that left wrist where it got him.
He tells Paul Harker he'll be fine. Take a little walk to the mound there. Going to shake that off and spend some time with Kittredge. 42,802 here tonight on a Saturday night in Baltimore. And they supplied them with Orioles sweatshirts to prepare for the Baltimore winter.
Very timely and very nice.
Yep. Now 2-2 here on Castillo. It's low. Count is full. He scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 7th. Baltimore got an unearned run in the 1st, and now a man at second base here with 1 out in the 7th inning. And a walk. Second time Castillo has drawn a walk. That's Jim Hickey on the phone to the bullpen. The Bonefish Grill catch of the game. And the rookie outfielder Austin Hayes made quite a catch on that one. Well, that's something to sit back and watch.
But you know what I loved is, going full bore towards that wall. He took one last peek at the wall, and then the timing of the jump could not have been more perfect. And he certainly does earn that over the Jake Odorizzi play. In full agreement.
Yep. So 2 pretty good ones here tonight. Odorizzi's was a quality play indeed. And Hayes, young man out of DeLand, Florida, Jacksonville University. And he's been impressive here in this series. 1 strike to count. He's been victimized by 2 good defensive plays tonight by the Rays. That one made by Odorizzi. That was in the 5th. And back in the 3rd inning, it was Duda who made that catch down the right field line with his back to the infield over the shoulder. One count. He's showing signs of being a very good young hitter. Misses that pitch, and now it's 1-2.
This reminds me of that series a couple of years ago where we saw Jose Ramirez, the last series of the season for the Indians. And you go, keep your eye on this guy.
That's exactly right.
He's shown a good approach at the plate using the middle of the field. He's got a quick bat, strong arm out in right field. We just saw the catch. So it'll be interesting to see. And the Orioles, they want to get younger and more athletic.
Pitch is a strike. Getting away from the Rays catcher Ramos, who was ready to maybe fire down to second. And Hayes is out on strikes.
A word of wisdom. These are the pitches that you're going to want to swing at in the future. You could see the face that he was making back to the dugout, like, and let that one get away. That was right down the middle.
Here's top of the order, Tim Beckham now, as Hayes makes his way through the Baltimore dugout. Beckham 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a walk tonight. Kittredge with a fastball to start it. And a miss on the slider. That fastball mid-90s plus, and then the followed up with the slider.
Gotten up to 97.
Down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Manny Machado is on deck this game in the bottom of the 7th inning. And strike 3 call. He catches him looking right there to retire the side. 2 men left. And they call 3rd strike to Beckham. 5-1 Rays. Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in Baltimore. The Rays and the Orioles moving on to the 8th inning. Baltimore on with their 3rd pitcher of the night, the left-hander is Yanni Hart.
For the 48th time, he comes into a ball game here for the Orioles. The side armor, left-handed, one of those guys with a different look, different feel coming out of the bullpen. That's one of those things that really Buck Showalter. That's been big with him the last few seasons. You see more and more teams catching on to that.
Well, the Rays have Kiermaier and Duda, 2 left-handed bats here to open the 8th. Longoria to follow, and Morrison behind Longoria. So Blyer for an inning in relief of Hellickson. And now here's Kiermaier against the lefty. Taking a pitch wide. Kiermaier 2 for 3 tonight, and a run scored. Soft curveball is wide. 2-0. Hart was in the game last night briefly. Charged with a run. And he gets a strike this time. He was on last night, hit Kiermaier, and then Duda doubled, and that chased home Kiermaier. That was it for Hart. Facing the same 2 tonight. It's 3-1 to Kiermaier. Romo up in the bullpen. Three and two. Tap to the right side. Hart sprinting to first, but Davis will make the play unassisted. Kiermaier retired to open the 8th. Now Lucas Duda. Duda homered in the 3rd, 1 for 3. Has 30 home runs this year, 13 with the Rays and 17 with the Mets. Takes a good look at this one low. Hellickson for 6. The Rays got 3 off him. 2 unearned runs off Blyer in the 1 inning he worked, and now they face Donnie Hart. 1-1.
Always important to add on when you can, and Hellickson, outside of that at bat to Duda, threw the ball well enough to keep the Rays off the scoreboard. But in this building, you got to continue to try to add on, and that's what the Rays have been able to do. Like to get it out of that grand slam range they always talk about, up by more than 4 if possible.
1 and 2. One out, bases empty. Duda down in the count. Longoria due up next. There's a cut to miss on the breaking ball. So Duda's out on strikes. And Buck Showalter pops out of the Baltimore dugout with Longoria due up. Hart has retired Kiermaier and Duda, and we're going to find another call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The 8th inning in Baltimore. Enter your Lotto, Fantasy 5, or all new Fast Play ticket in the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash Promotion. You can win a 2018 Lazy Days RV Motorhome. Over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Mike Wright becomes the 4th pitcher of the evening. Moves on to face Evan Longoria with nobody on and 2 outs. Pitch is a fastball outside. Longoria is lined to left, lined out to right field, and the last time out third to first. And another take wide, 2-0. Ground ball, shortstop. Beckham's throw is there, and the Rays are out in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 5-1 Tampa Bay. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. From Camden Yards tonight, Rays and the Orioles move on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Sergio Romo will be the new pitcher for the Rays, their 3rd of the night.
Well, Romo's season numbers on for the 53rd time. He's been very good as a member of the Rays. And he'll come in here, the Rays with 6 outs to get to secure this victory. Not an easy assignment to start things out. Manny Machado.
So Machado 0 for 3 tonight, leads it off. 33 home runs and 94 runs batted in. Romo's first pitch taken low. Romo pitched the 8th inning of the game here Thursday night. A scoreless inning and a 3-1 loss to Baltimore. That's a strike. 1-1. In that game, he got Machado on a fly ball to left. Two and one. We'll face Machado, Scope, Jones, and Mancini. And will tonight, here in the 8th, have Machado, Scope, and Jones due up. Behind him, would be Chris Davis. High fly ball, not all that deep to center as Kiermaier comes in and now makes the catch. One away.
Number 6, John Riggs.
Scope takes the pitch for a ball. And he did go for that one. It's 1-1. In other games, as we mentioned earlier, the Brewers in 10 beat the Cubs 4-3. Houston beat the Angels 6-2. Yankees 5-1 over the Blue Jays. Boston shut out Cincinnati 5-0. Indians beat Seattle 11-4, and the Twins beat the Tigers after being down early. Minnesota won that game, pulling away 10-4.
Boy, they just continue to score runs. They've been swinging the bats very well and beating the teams that they're supposed to. The Angels, how about the slide they've been on?
Yep. Lost 6 in a row. 2-2.
The thing about it is, as long as Minnesota keeps winning, nobody can gain any ground. They've started to separate themselves from the pack.
They have indeed. They started the day 3.5 in front of the Angels and Texas. There's a foul ball back. Texas down early in Oakland 1-0. That game's at the top of the third at Oakland. And you're down to the point where you really are running out of time. Rays started this game tonight with 8 games left in the regular season. A 2-2 count on Scope. And he is out on strikes, caught looking, that one on the corner. And that's the 12th strikeout of the night for Rays pitching.
This is one of the few on the corner and the knees that have been called. Sergio Romo absolutely dots that pitch. Jonathan Scope, nothing you can do about that. Hope and pray that it's called a ball. It was not. It's the second out of the inning.
There's Adam Jones. Jones tonight 1 for 3, had an infield hit his first time up. He takes a strike. 26 home runs for Jones, the 4th center fielder now in MLB history to hit at least 25 home runs in 7 consecutive seasons. Willie Mays did it, Mickey Mantle did it, and Andrew Jones did it. Now Adam Jones, a little tap, tough play. Longoria was deep, up, and the throw to first is wide and past Duda. Jones will wind up at second on another hit and an error. So a couple infield hits and 2 errors tonight involving little taps by Jones.
Boy, a swinging bunt, and Evan Longoria had to go a long way and trying to rush that throw. Just wasn't able to get it there. That ball sails on him, sinking action, down and away from Duda.
So a base runner at second. Chris Davis is due up, and we're going to have a call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Man at second, 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Coming up tonight on Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. We'll review Jake Odorizzi's outstanding outing. We'll have the Kevin Cash press conference and sound from the clubhouse to immediately follow our game coverage. And Xavier Cedeno will make an appearance for the Rays. His first appearance in a Rays uniform since April the 16th with those forearm issues. And he's on to face Chris Davis. First pitch and a little ground ball picked up by Miller, who makes the play to retire the side. A hit, an error, and a man left. We go to the 9th. 5-1 Rays. Five to 1 through 8. The Rays on top. A 3-run home run in the 3rd by Lucas due to the big blow of this game. And Jake Odorizzi was excellent tonight, allowing 1 unearned run, striking out 9. We go to the 9th. Logan Morrison leads off and sends one deep into right field, and that one will get out of here. On the first pitch here in the 9th, the Rays get an added run on the solo blast by Logan Morrison, his 37th home run of the year. So Morrison, who had coming into this game been battling a 2 for 31, that had gone 2 for 34, hits a home run on the first pitch to open the 9th.
Boy, perfectly served out there by Wright, where Logan Morrison likes it. And take a big deep breath and a sigh of relief right there for Logan Morrison. Maybe that heats him up here the last week of the season.
Steven Souza Jr. takes the ball. He's 3rd now on the single season home run list. Carlos Pena occupying the first 2 rungs on that home run ladder. Do another count to Souza Jr. Morrison's 27th road home run. 2-1. And this one up the middle, hits the bag at second, kicks over the head of Scope. An aggressive turn by Souza Jr., but Hayes in there from right field to make the pickup on that one. The Rays pick up another hit.
Left fielder, number 10, Corey Dickerson.
Look out. That ball rocketed right off the bag out there. Souza Jr. thinking about it.
He's on for the second time. First hit of the night. Here's Corey Dickerson. Fouls a fastball back. Strike one. The Rays now with a 5-run lead, 6-1. One and one. Back into the screen, 1 and 2. Rays onesie sighting here.
Oh yeah, those were a hot item.
And they apparently travel well.
Yes, they do. You got to be smoking hot in that thing tonight.
Ground ball toward the middle, and that's going to go through into center. Souza Jr. will head to third. So 3 straight hits off right to begin the 9th inning. Morrison a home run and singles by Souza Jr. and Dickerson.
We pounded that ball right into the ground, but hard enough. Be able to get it by Jonathan Scope.
And now Roger McDowell on the hill, spending some time with Wright. Some action in the bullpen from Baltimore. Tanner Scott is up in their bullpen. The young left-hander with high velocity in that left arm. Wilson Ramos is the hitter with nobody out. Chase Whitley up in the Rays bullpen. So here's Ramos, infield up. The pitch is a strike at the knees. Well, the Rays with 6 runs tonight. They're 2 for 3 with men in scoring position with a sacrifice fly. The only out was that great catch by the young right fielder Austin Hayes. Ramos is down 0-2. Wilson walked in the 5th. He singled home a run in the 7th inning. Takes a look at a ball. one on the inside corner, says Gabe Morales. Ramos not all that happy, but he'll take that as a strike in the bottom of the ninth. He has to exchange it here in the top of the ninth.
That ball may have been just in off the plate. You see the Fox tracks look at it. And Wright was able to get Ramos looking for something away as he was sweeping the slider, and then all of a sudden surprise him with something front door. He needed that with runners on first and third and nobody out.
Now Brad Miller against the right-hander. Sends a fly ball toward the left field corner. Mancini still on the run, and he cannot make the catch and makes contact with the wall. That ball bounds over for a double. Souza scores. Dickerson goes to third on a double for Miller, and the Rays make it 7-1.
That Trey Mancini had to go so far. That was just a towering fly ball down the left field line. Watch how high this ball gets. It is skied. Brad Miller trying to check to see if that ball is going to be fair. Just run. We'll find out soon enough. Able to one hop into the stands.
Now second and third. Here's Echeverria. Swing and a miss. Strike one. In on Echeverria, and he fouls that one. 2-strike count. The Rays, with a couple more runs in the ninth inning, have made it a 7-1 ball game. Four additional hits in this inning. The Rays have 9 in the game. Close there to Echeverria. He fouls it back. Still 1-2. The Rays last night putting up 13 hits. They have 9 tonight. 6 in the last 2 innings plus. And Echeverria checks on that pitch down.
That's a good take. That's a good take, because you could see that pitch coming. You know, a couple fastballs in. Fastball slider for the most part here from Wright. Rays continue to work at bats deep into this game.
Echeverria lines one into left. That's going to get Dickerson home. Miller on his way to the plate as well. 2 runs batted in here for Echeverria. And the Rays have put up a 4-run inning. Now they make it 9-1, and that will get Buck Showalter out of the dugout and on his way to the mound to make a pitching change. So the Rays putting some distance between themselves and the Orioles here in the top of the ninth. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Ninth inning here. Reminder to start your day with First Things First. Weekday mornings on FS1 with hosts Chris Carter and Nick Wright. First Things First. Weekdays at 6:30 a.m. on FS1. Tanner Scott, hard throwing left-hander, takes over for Mike Wright, pitcher number 5 for Baltimore. Made his major league debut against Boston on Wednesday. 1 inning, a couple of runs, 2 hits, 2 walks. Cesar Puello will pinch hit now for Kiermaier. Rays have made it a 9-1 ball game. Puello takes a pitch too low from Tanner Scott. It's too wide. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, that's going to be the key for the young lefty, is being able to harness that fastball. Everything is going to begin and end with that fastball, with the command of it. And he had a walk rate down in the minor leagues of about 6 per 9 innings. Going to have to clean that up.
Two and one.
But you can certainly see why Baltimore would be intrigued by the arm strength. Power on that heater.
Well, he was at the AA level this year. He falls behind Puello with that 97-mile-per-hour fastball. 3-1 the count. Looks at a strike. 3-2. Morrison opened this inning with a home run. The Rays have 4 runs on 5 hits here in the 9th. 1 out. And strike 3 called on the outside corner. Tanner Scott picks up a strikeout. Now Duda will be lifted. Kurt Casale will pinch hit for him.
Now batting for the Rays, and please change for Luis Duda, number 19, Kurt Casale.
Casale spent the year with the Durham Bulls, 1 for 3 since coming back with the Rays. And that's a fastball. 98. That's pretty easy. 98 from Tanner Scott.
And you see some guys, it screams out, I'm trying to throw that hard, regardless whether you are or you aren't. 98 is impressive, but you're right. This is pretty easy. Simple.
And it's now 1-1.
99 right there. It's just going to be a matter of, you know, pitch consistently at the big league level. You've got to be able to throw strikes consistently, and you've got to be able to be trusted.
The high fly ball into right. Hayes sets up under. This one makes the catch and falls, but he makes the grab, and that'll do it in the 9th inning. 4 runs for the Rays in the 9th. They lead 9-1. Logan Morrison's home run started all of that. Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays at 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Well, Chase Whitley is the new pitcher for the Rays to work the bottom of the 9th inning. Other changes for the Rays as well as Whitley makes his 40th appearance with a record of 2-1. Kurt Casale will stay on to catch, so the Rays with a new battery of Whitley and Casale here in the 9th inning. Trevor Plouffe at first base. Daniel Robertson's over at third. First pitch to Trey Mancini is a strike call. Souza goes in to play center, moving over from right. Puello stays in after pinch hitting, and he plays right field. There's a little looper over the head of Miller, and a base hit for Mancini. A base hit to open the bottom of the 9th inning. It's hit number 6 for the Orioles. Souza in center field now. Puello in right.
The Rays will try to finish this game off as quickly as possible. You got the quick turnaround day game tomorrow.
Plouffe now at first. Robertson on the other corner at third. And Trumbo takes the pitch for a strike.
Wholesale changes. September up big late.
And this one shot past Miller, reaching for it. It skips into center. And now the ball gets away from Souza. And over to third base goes Mancini. So Trumbo is aboard.
Well, you had an opportunity there. It would have been a tough play. But if Brad Miller's able to come up with this, 2 outs, nobody on. Hard hit ball, short hop, gets over the glove, and then Souza Jr. doesn't come up clean, and Mancini had his eyes to the outfield, which is the correct way to do it. Make sure that that play is made. It was not, and he picks it right up, gets over to third base. That's heads-up base running by Mancini.
So Trumbo gets a base hit. Souza gets an error. Now Castillo, and the pitch is outside. And an auspicious start to the bottom of the 9th here for the Rays in a 9-1 game. Two and 0 the count. Cut and a miss. 2-1. Rizzi, Kittredge, Romo, Cedeno, and Whitley. Whitley's first appearance since last Wednesday in the Cubs series. Shot toward left center field, and that ball's going to be in there. One hop and off the wall. Mancini has scored. Trumbo will stop at third. It's a double for Castillo, and it's 9-2. 3 straight hits, an error, a run batted in. Second and third with nobody out. Not what the Rays had in mind.
Not at all, but Castillo gets a pitch right out over the heart of the plate and drills it deep into left center field. Short hops the wall. Take a little bit longer to close this game out.
Now Austin Hayes, and he's going to shoot this one into the corner. That's a fair ball. Both runs will score, and Hayes goes to second. So 4 straight hits. 3 runs have scored. And it's 9-4 with nobody out.
Well, are the Rays going to be able to close this game out? I mean, my goodness. Out of nowhere, this Baltimore lineup has come to life, and it's the bottom 4 getting it done. A couple extra base hits. And that's the last thing that you want to do. You know, and when you're going into the 9th inning up 9-1, Tommy Hunter, Steve Cishek, and Alex Colomé, you want them nailed to the bench. Figure out a way to get it done without having to go to those 3 guys. But you saw Tommy Hunter immediately starting to get ready down in that pen.
Well, Hunter was in the game for an inning last night. He's won that one 8-3, and all of a sudden, this has gone what seems to be in a matter of seconds from 9-1 to 9-4. Top of the order now, Tim Beckham. Beckham swings and he misses. Strike 1. Beckham 0 for 3 with a walk. Struck out swinging in the first, walked in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth, called out on strikes in the 7th. He bats again in the 9th. And now it's 0-2.
You know, he's going after him the same way that Odorizzi did. Odorizzi with the changeup, a little split change against Beckham, had his way with him, and Whitley here back-to-back changeups to go to 0-2. And really, this deep into the game, why wouldn't you do another one? You throw another one right here. Don't try to do anything more with it. That's exactly what he's going to do.
This time he lays off 1-2.
Okay, do it, lay off 3 more times. My money is not on that happening. Let's see if he stays with it, though.
One and 2. Ground ball back at third. Robertson up with it, but that's going to be a base hit. He could not make a play. Robertson deep back at third, gloved it, but had nowhere to go with it. Hayes goes to third, and Beckham reaches. 5 straight hits.
Well, Kevin Cash coming right out to get Whitley. Did go with another changeup, and a nice job by Robertson to get to that ball and glove it. Just no play to be made. But if that gets by him, it's another extra base hit. Another run would be home. Well, things have gotten really weird here in the 9th. One of the big boys now.
So Whitley faced 5 men, gave up 5 hits. Now the call of the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. First for Tim Beckham, who grabbed his hamstring, legging out that ball that he hit behind the bag at third. We'll take another look at him going down the line. So he's going to leave the game right there, the little reach. So Hardy will run. Tommy Hunter is going to be the new pitcher for the Rays in what is now a 9-4 game with men at first and third and nobody out. And the tough part of the order beginning with Manny Machado up here. Pitch is outside, 1-0. Machado retired on a fly ball to center in the 8th. Ground ball down to third, skips through the hole. Another run is in. Hardy goes to second. Machado drives in a run. It's 9-5.
Well, you're one hitter away from getting the tying run to the plate.
With nobody out.
Yeah. Now you say to yourself, well, fortunately the Rays were able to score 4 in the top of the 9th. But, you know, if they hadn't, you know, this would have been managed differently. Chase Whitley probably would not have been in the game at that point. You'd have gone to your, you know, probably to Colomé, perhaps, maybe Hunter. You see how close that ball was. But the Baltimore Orioles have just come out of nowhere, swinging the bats, finding holes, and making this game very interesting.
Now Jonathan Schoop, 6 consecutive hits. Schoop sends a fly ball. Souza Jr. in center field makes the catch, and that will be the first out. The 7th hitter of the inning, finally 1 out.
Stop the bleeding, and now finish off this inning. And maybe that's all it took, was that pop-up into the outfield there by Schoop.
Alex Colomé up in the bullpen. Well, the Orioles had gone 1 for 8 with men in scoring position, 4 for 5 in this inning. Here's Adam Jones. Jones 2 for 4, couple of infield hits. He's after the first pitch and misses, strike 1. The Orioles have now out-hit the Rays in this game, 11-10. And a wave and a miss, 0-2. They scored 4 in the top of the inning. The Orioles have answered with 4 in the bottom. The tap foul. Still an 0-2 count. It's low. Ball, 2 strikes. Chris Davis on deck. It's foul right back. Still the ball, 2 strikes. Jones, the 8th hitter to come to the plate in the 9th. Runner at second, J.J. Hardy. Manny Machado's at first. Sally's going to get together with Hunter.
Well, Tommy Hunter, from his time here in Baltimore, knows Adam Jones very well and knows that he does not walk. He will expand his zone. Want to make sure they get this right because this inning has spiraled out of control. So you understand the meeting. Now execute the pitch and move closer to the finish line.
Jones fouls it away. Baltimore opened the scoring back in the first with an unearned run. Nothing until now. And they have 4 runs home. 2 men on and 1 out in the 9th. Jones fouls it one more time. The 7th pitch at bat with the count 1-2. And another foul ball. How about that?
I'll tell you, his bat has gotten quicker as this has gone on. I mean, catching up to these fastballs that Tommy Hunter is airing out. One after the other.
8 pitches in. Here's number 9 and a swing and a miss. He got him to chase. Jones out on strikes. A 9-pitch at bat. Finally, out number 2.
Finally went away from the fastball to the slider. Look at that thing just take off out of the zone. You had a hitter that was aggressively swinging at just about everything, and he chased there.
That'll be Chris Davis. And he shoots one into right field for a base hit. Hardy heads to the plate. He will score. And over to third base goes Machado. So another run is home. The 7th hit of the inning. It's a 5-run ninth, and it's 9-6.
And you've gotten the tying run to the plate, which is all Baltimore could have possibly hoped for beyond their wildest dreams when this inning started.
And that hitter will be Trey Mancini. He opened this with a base hit.
How about this?
And Kevin Cash out of the dugout and on his way to the mound. The Rays went into this inning leading 9-1. And now, with the tying run at the plate, a call to the bullpen. is their third pitcher here in the ninth. Their 7th of the game. And he's on to face the potential tying run. Rays went into this inning leading 9-1. It's now 9-6. And Colomé is on to face Trey Mancini with Chris Davis at first and Manny Machado aboard at third.
Well, this inning woke some people up on both sides. Both sides.
Mancini 2 for 4. Had a single in the 7th and a single to open the 9th. And so here he is against Colomé. You have to believe Hunter and Colomé, the farthest thing from their minds was to get into this game. Colomé's pitch is down, the ball, and no strikes. Fly ball, right center. Bayo is there, and the Rays will win this game. But it was not easy. 10 men come to the plate for Baltimore before the Rays wrap it up. It's a 9-6 final as the Rays win the second game in the first 3. 6-12-2 for the Orioles with 9 left for the Rays. 9-10-3 with 2 left. Odorizzi will get the win. He is 10-8. Hellickson will take the loss, dropping his record to 2-6. Colomé will get the save. 3 hours and 34 minutes, the time of this game.